Yeah, I'm sitting at the shipper. A big cat plant is across the street. And just talked to that guy over there, very nice gentleman. He's loading tailbird. You know, I love this, you know, I'm like, for me this is like a toy store, you know, like just mostly right now I'm not that interested in the yellow iron, but I'm more interested in the configurations that people use. And there's two guys in front of me, they're loading the same stuff, and they have, I think they were from Louisiana, and they both had a 4-axle truck and a 4-axle trailer, 55 ton, and one guy had the stinger, like the bar, you know, just the spreader bar. He had it set up on his neck. He has connections, and he has and this guy, this nice gentleman, I think he's with what's his company? Oh, Daily. He's with Daily, and I think that's either a 65 ton or a 70 ton, because sorry for the noise, because he has 3 axles in the back, and he has a tandem booster, and then he has a 4-axle truck, and he has a Tridem Jeep. Tridem, so 3 axles on the Jeep. So probably it's a 70 ton, and his trailer is a beam trailer, so he's picking up something really big. Probably this guy over here. It's that's 349, but without counterweights. Oh, he's probably loading. There's 2 guys that were before me here. They're sitting over there behind this red guy, behind the and I always respect people that you can see that they're not young. Like this guy, he's probably my age, but he's much kind of like drier, you know, like very thin, you know, like, and he does not look sick, you know. How do you how do you stay so thin? But you know, he has a beam trailer. You know what that means? A beam trailer. So that means that he's always working with timbers, right? Because he has to set up timbers, and he's always, of course, his setup, you know, like, what is this? 4 and 3, 7, 10, 13. He has 13 axles, right? So it's always chaining, unchaining. And by the way, that's another reality when you have a multi-axle setup. Like mine is just simple, right? Mine is, what I did, I put my boards under the wheels because there was space, and then I dropped the trailer down and I rechained it, basically released the chains, and then I raised the trailer, dragged the boards out, put them over there, and so now my suspension is down, but now all my axles are kind of like open. They will all inflate, so I'll be running with 4 axles. So that's it. I don't have to pay anybody, right? But that's the reality when you have a trailer like that. See, like that forklift, right? The forklift guy over there, he's hooking up the stinger, and of course they charge for this, you know. They all charge for this, but I want to be like that guy, you know. Maybe not like a 70 ton, but well, I like my 60 ton. It's just I need more axles, you know. I cannot do. So people keep asking how much you can carry. Like, the reality is maybe 95,000 pounds. That's it. Not because of the anything wrong with the trailer, but because of all these different laws, you know, and how much you can put in the rear axles, how much you can put in the truck. And my empty weight is 60,000, right? So 8 axles, like let's say the best scenario, I'm getting 8 times 20, 160 gross, minus my empty weight 60, which is 100,000 pounds. But you cannot do that with 8 axles, you know, because first of all, it's very difficult to split the weights like that. But then of course you can never have exactly 20 20 20 20, right? And on the back, like Texas, I think they only allow you, I think it's 72,000 pounds on a quad on when you have 4 axles. That's why when you have something heavy, they want it to be spread out, they want it to be longer. And so that's what, you know, on the one hand I want to get into this, but on the other hand, like I said, it's much more work, and so you have to pay, you have to, like, whereas with me, when I'm flipping my, you know, rear 2 or rear 1 axle, most of the time shipper or consignee does not even charge me any money. But when you have setup like this, it's a lot of work, so they charge you. Like this guy says he paid about he says he forgot either 175 or 250, basically 200 bucks, which is not too bad, you know, considering that he has a Jeep and a Stinger. And then another drawback, of course, is that you're much longer, right? And some states will require you to have a escort, right? And escorts cost money, so basically your pocket cash goes down for the trip, right? So if you're doing the same, let's say you're getting 10,000 bucks, I'm getting 10,000 bucks, and that guy is getting 10,000 bucks. He's what ends sitting in his pocket will be less than me, you know. So that makes sense only if you get like a real high-paying load, you know. So we'll see what happens. Like I said before, I'm trying to get into this, but it's a lot of money. Oh, and one more thing I wanted to mention, that guy has what piqued my curiosity. He has a rigid or fixed Stinger, right? Like you start talking to trailer dealers and they all say no, you need nitro, right? And then time and again I always see rigid spreaders. Like there's a guy there that's ATS. He has it's probably too far, but he has a Tridem trailer and he has a single axle Stinger sitting on his deck. And again, I don't see any cylinders, so which means that that's just a rigid Stinger. Unfortunately for me, Fontaine says I cannot use 3+1 like basic Stinger. It has to be the same big one that is used for 2+2 because of my, you know, tandem trailer with 2 modular axles. They say I need that bigger Stinger, which the brand new one is 42,000 bucks. Oh, and now the forklift is what's he doing? He's dropping his flip box. Yeah, over there on the red trailer he has a big flip box. I think I'm gonna move forward, you know, like all those guys in front of my trailer. Hold on. А я еду за туманом и за запахом тайги. Because I parked my truck like that because I wanted to show you loading, but there's not enough space. guy, that's a pretty big machine, 349. And he has a XL trailer. And this guy, actually, the guy with the tailboard, that's his truck. Check this out. Doesn't that look familiar? That's Kenworth T880, ladies and gentlemen, except his yeah, he has a rigid pusher. It's not a steerable pusher, and his front looks a bit soft, so I think it's like 16,000 pounds probably, but it's not big like mine. Anyway, let's go get ready, and then I'll show you once I'm loaded. Now the tailboard guy, he has the machine. Basically, see, they put it on blocks and they drove it on his trailer, and then they use the boom to lift the front and put some timbers in there. So basically, he said the machine will sit not on the deck, but of course on timbers. Right, and you see he has and by the way, I asked him about the capacity. He said 60 ton, 60 ton, but they have a whole bunch of axles, like a Trident Jeep, you see, super long neck, very nice looking trailer. All right, so now basically I'm finished. I'll show you guys how I chained up once I go through the scale here and get all my paperwork. Then I'll park on the other side. I already saw, I just got my Texas permit. At least I can drive in Texas, because now it's gonna be a rush against time, as they say in whodunits and thrillers, because Wednesday the curfew starts for the Independence Day. All right, I'm wearing a fresh t-shirt, and I just printed out my Texas permit, and now I know my weight, so I ordered the rest of the permits. So here's what I got. Front axle, 15,560 pounds. Pusher and drives, 55860. First tandem, for some reason, is 32,040. Last tandem is 32,600. Okay, so pretty close, but I don't like a little bit this 600 pound difference. And I removed the big shim. You know, I used to have a big shim in the back. Now I have a medium size in the middle and blue one, which is small size, in the back. And I'm running the engine because it's, check this out, 39C. That's close to, I think, 200F. No, but seriously, I think that's past 95. It's probably like 97, 98, you know. So basically, if you leave the piece of paper outside, it will catch fire. Well, people from Florida know what I'm talking about. But let me step out. I'll show you the load and show you how I secured it. So you know the weight, right? And there's a couple of detours on Texas, so I left my computer running because when I get back, I gotta study my route. But for now, I can only go inside Texas. But basically, I'm going near the water. You know, Texas, then what is this? Mississippi, Louisiana, all the way to Mobile, Alabama, and then north. Because last time I tried like a more common sense route through Mississippi, and the permit was like 550 bucks. So now I'm trying to minimize the Mississippi miles, and that's why I'm going straight east from Houston. All right, let's step out into the 200-degree heat. Oh boy, here we go. So my fifth wheel, I didn't even touch it, so the fifth wheel is about this. You see, I can still move it forward, and I can push more to the front, but I only have 55,000 over here. But this is very useful. I really like this. If I didn't have this, I would have 12,000 on the front, and I would be close to 60 over here. So anyway, so this machine has very nice eyes, and I love my D-rings that are in there. Right, so that's 2, and the same 2 is in the back. Yeah, the same setup as in the back. So using this and using my D-rings, I love those. And then I just put 1 chain on each corner like that. And this time I went, you know, totally crazy, and I used the the tie down. And we put 1 in here and 1 in there. And you gotta make sure that the mirrors are turned away from the direction the truck is going, because, you know, some rocks can fly and they can hit the mirror. Maybe I gotta turn that one, because it's gonna kill my fuel economy. Kidding. There's no fuel economy in heavy haul. Oh, see, I cannot turn this. I would have to undo these bolts. I don't want to do that, so I'll just do it like this. Alright, just make it a bit aerodynamic. And check this out. Why are we open? Any more surprises here? And that one is covered. I didn't have to tie down the rubber hoses on this one. On this one is pretty good. You know, like some machines, the rubber hoses stick out too far, but I checked my height. I'm 13.6. And this machine is a bit heavier than the one I had before, because it has this quick coupler. That guy said it's weighs about 2,000 pounds. Yeah? All right, that's the beast, Cat 336, brand new, just built over there, across the road. That's the Caterpillar plant. And I saw a bunch of trucks like this. Turns out it's a Texas thing. They like this, even though you only get 72,000 pounds in here. But lots of guys are running here like this. That guy is a nice little Stinger. This guy has a Stinger. He says he just got it. But you see, it's only rated for 22,000 pounds. Single cylinder with a little Honda in there and a pivoting point. Over there it says 24, over here it says 22. Not sure, but this is XL. Not my favorite trailer. I like mine. Look at this. Look at the massiveness in here. Look at this. Look at how wide this is. On my trailer this was much more narrow. How big this is, you know? I know it's heavy, but that's how we roll, baby. All right, let's go study the route. I gotta study the route, so this way I can get to a truck stop. Have a brunch, because in the morning I only had coffee. And I really don't want to drive too much, because unless I have the next state permit, which is Louisiana, because, you know, it's what, maybe a couple of hours and you're out of Texas, you know. I'm talking about I-10. So I made it to the TA, same TA where I spent the night. Let's go check the chains, and then I'm gonna go to the restaurant and grab some food because I only had a coffee in the morning. And from here to Houston, it's very dangerous, very stressful driving because of multiple construction zones. You know, we're on 59 where there's no shoulders, and though my favorite Jersey barriers on both sides, and I'm 11.4 wide, you know, so that's gonna be exciting. And I am 30 miles away from the plant, which is perfect timing to check your chains. Everything is super tight. Just turning, you see, it's not. All right. No way. This is good. This is good. Just kill the light while I'm having the brunch. All right, I got some food, and most importantly I got my favorite smart water, you know, from ice, and then I get some green tea. Don't want to drink coffee, it's too hot now. And I added a couple of flags on the very back on the trailer, just, you know, to add visibility in this upcoming construction area. I'm really not looking forward to that one. And as I was standing in the lineup for the subway, the guy next to me was talking exactly about that, you know, to his buddy. He says, well, they're passing me, they're 3 inches away from my truck. You know, so it's dangerous, and that's why I'm not gonna stay in the lane. I'm gonna block the left lane. Otherwise, somebody today will die, and it's not gonna be me. I can tell you that. No, but seriously, it's dangerous stuff, you know. Like, people zoom by. First of all, it's 55 miles per hour speed limit. All right, everybody's doing 75, 80. And they try to pass you, like, okay, I'm okay on the straight line, you know, you want to pass me on the straight line, but when there's a curve, that's a total no from Captain Sergei, because I have to, you know, if the road is curving to the right, I have to keep the front of my truck to the left, right? Otherwise my trailer will hit the Jersey barrier. And of course, none of these four-wheelers, they understand the complexity of driving a 8-axle rig. See, I'm not even saying 18-wheeler, because I'm not an 18-wheeler. All my axles have 4 tires on them, right? And out of 8, only 2 axles, the steer and the pusher, have 4 tires. So So 6 times 4 is 24. That's 6 axles, right? And then 2 on 7, that's 26, 28. So I got 28 wheels. So I'm not an 18-wheeler, I'm a 28-wheeler. Alright, are you sure? Yeah, we're not turning anywhere. We're just going straight. Yeah, because there's no ramp over there. The ramp... Actually, yeah, this road, you know, it's a weird setup how they do this, but check this out. So this is a kind of like a service road, right? And then 59 is over there on the hill. And then 59 comes in here right in front of me, and so I just have to yield to the guys over there. You see, there's one sign and another sign, right? So it's, instead of me merging with 59, is that kind of like 59 is merging with me, you know? And we're doing good. Just one truck over there, but he got so scared he went into the left lane. Thank you, extra lease. Don't work too hard. And one more thing I did, instead of switching the flashing lights just in the back of the trailer, I switched 2 more, you know, because I got one flashing light at the end of the tandem, the axle 2, and I have another flashing light at the back of axle 3, and then another one on axle 4, because my trailer is supposed to be used with, you know, stingers and boosters, stuff like that, right? And just to make sure that these guys in the construction zone understand that I'm oversized, I switched those all on, because you can see them from the side, you know, especially when a small car which sits low, right, is gonna be passing me, he will see those lights. Okay, he misses the first one, there's a second one. He misses the second one, there's a third one. And of course in the very back there's 2 big flags. And then there's 2 flags on the back of the tracks of the machine, and 2 flags in the front on the tracks. So yeah, I think, you know, I created a pretty visible load. Like, you really have to be legally blind not to see that I'm oversized. And one more practice I do, like a little exercise, you know, when I'm driving like a nice area like this with no traffic, I just look at the outside of the left track, and I see where I have to be in order for that track to be right on the edge of the line. So I gotta be just a little bit off center, like this way, and I'm still like barely inside my lane with the track. Okay, now let's check the right side. When my left track is on the line, what's gonna happen on the right? Hold on a little bit more to the left. Yeah, it's still over. It's still over. So I'm definitely wider than this thing, but just by a couple of inches. So this thing is probably 11 feet wide, I'm guessing. And so if I keep the track on the edge of the line, my right track is somewhere on the edge of that rumble strip. So I always do this, you know, just to get in my head in case of obstacles, where I have to be, you know, how far I can go right, how far I can go left without going into another lane. And as I was doing lunch, I already saw emails from the permit service company. Besides Texas, I already have Louisiana, I have Mississippi, I have Tennessee. I don't think I saw Alabama, but basically they're working on them. But you know, today was a pretty hot day, so I don't know how far I want to go, but because I'm not gonna make it anyway. It's 1,650 miles. I will have to shut down on Wednesday anyway, because Wednesday is the 3rd, where the curfew starts, right? And then I can start driving again on Friday. And then Michigan has a curfew. You cannot drive on the weekend. And I'm crossing in Port Huron. So of course, ideally, it would be perfect to be out of Michigan by the end of Friday. But that's not gonna happen, because that only leaves me Tuesday, Friday. Okay, let's say I'm doing crazy 600 miles a day, which is not gonna happen, but let's just say, so that's 1,200 miles. And then Wednesday, I think it's only till lunch. There's no way I can do 400 miles in half a day. Well, I'm gonna do, of course, something today, but you know, it's very hot, you know, with these heavy loads, with this holiday. So the rule of thumb, right, for the new drivers, the Bible of a heavy hauler states, on day 1 you shall leave the state where you loaded. I kid you not, that's what's written in the Bible. So as long as you leave the state where you were loaded, you're fine, you're doing good. So, and the miles here from Victoria to the Mississippi border on I-10 is 240 miles. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hit some traffic in Houston. So Eastern time now is 2 o'clock. So I'll be at the border somewhere around 5 or 6 my time, which is 1 hour less. But you know, I've been driving 3 days empty, like pretty hard. So I'll probably just stop in that. There's a bunch of truck stops at the end of Texas there in Orange, Texas. We're gonna stop there. Okay. You guys saw lots of driving yesterday, 32 minutes. I appreciate your patience, but you saw in real time what it's like to cross a big city like Houston on a Sunday. So we'll do another video when something interesting happens. Maybe next time I'll put a cam on the dash and just capture some interesting moments, you know, like maybe there's an earthquake or aliens, you know, like typical stuff. So then we'll do another video. So, but I'll definitely do another video before unloading, okay? Just kind of like an update on my progress.